So Border Village, what a great little place out there on the border in the middle of nowhere. Not just a place to regather thoughts, but a place to try and work out what time it was. We were dealing with Eastern Australian Standard Time, we were dealing with Central Australian Time, we were dealing with West Australian Time. As a matter of fact, when the start time came for the departure the next morning, we had to delay it by an hour because of the fact there was no light. Interesting place.
We had a 2.5 hour time change at Border Village. We had to finish the event in Western Australian time, which was actually Central Australian time, and then start the event in South Australian time, which was 2.5 hours because of daylight savings.
We had to delay the start this morning by an hour because we hadn't made such a good judgment on how the change in hours was going to go. It'll be a lot safer because they might have been a bit tricky up there with those 6-volt headlights and things. And also this time of day, early in the morning, the animals tend to be out and about still.
So we're just marking off groups 1 and 2 at the moment, all the earlier spikes, and it's looking like we're getting a good show up this morning, so encouraging. It's only got light half an hour ago, and we've only got 10 minutes till we take off.
Righto, 10 minutes to go, 10 minutes to go.
A little bit of misty rain going to be around the first hour or so with all the big road trains, we thought maybe just go a little bit safer just for a couple of hours, at least till we get to the Nullarbor Roadhouse anyway.
Nature in its infinite wisdom put on a floor show like you've never seen, and just the rawness, the isolation, the exposure of that part of Australia. I recall feeling it 40 years ago, but it was amplified on the bike because there was thunder and lightning, and it was just raw Australia.
Along that section, there are a whole pile of sections of road where you could just pull off, get your bike close to the cliffs. They're limestone cliffs, so they collapse a lot. So you had to stay a little bit back to be safe, but you were able to get these amazing photos of the end of Australia.
We saw an albino while we were out there. We convinced our imported American rider that if you whistled hard enough they come back up to the surface, and ironically it did. I don't know if he totally believed it, but hey, it was good to see.
Getting to Ceduna, you were starting to get back to the big smoke again. Sure, it was country Australia, it wasn't really the big smoke, but you felt it after coming off the Nullarbor.
I've ridden all right across the Nullarbor, and the last 70 k's was as boring as bat tube.
It does get boring after a while, but there's always a landscape to look at which seems to be changing continually. And we've always got to keep an eye out for kangaroos and emus and snakes, and saw a rabbit. Haven't seen a camel yet. Think that's gone now though. We stopped 4 times to look at the cliffs, and then the last time there was just this fantastic view of cliff edge after cliff edge after cliff edge running down the coast. It was fabulous. Really worth stopping for.
Someone said to me last night, sometimes you just want to keep riding and riding, and that's what we did today. We didn't stop to eat, didn't stop, we just rode all day. Stopped for fuel, drink of water, and just kept going. Just a lovely day for a ride after all the moisture we've had. So, no, great day.
Yeah, nice length, nice piece of road. Everything a vintage motorcycle enthusiast could want.
How did your jalopy go today?
Yeah, no worries today. Uneventful. How we like them.
Bike's still going, I'm still going. Got a beer in hand, how could you be anything but happy? Do with a couple of corners, you reckon?
Oh, well, that probably wouldn't hurt.
Dad said these could be stainless valves.
I see you're still using that Indian valve cover tool.
Well, you haven't given us another one yet.
You want to pinch that to the shit house.
We don't till we get home.
This is why you put the bike in the van halfway through the trip, is that right? This flat tire?
Yeah, the tube actually let go.
Really?
That. How would you like that?
That's the second one. Gunner's tube.
Look at that.
Go too. Show me.
The tit fell out the tube. That belongs in there. It's a brand new tube. And that just blew. It actually didn't blow, it was leaking.
So it doesn't matter how much prep you do, you still have problems.
Now, just a moment and I'll see if I can pull that back to you.
Oh.
Just mind your fingers.
Stage 6 today to Ceduna was 480 kilometres, and we managed to get 60 riders completing the full course and 36 remain on full points. Every day when the scores were actually compiled, they would come to me and I would just do a check of them, and I had a Lauren Young, she actually agreed to actually be the score master for me.
I would put all the times and all the scores in for the whole day, and then work all the scores out and then publish it online onto the Facebook group so everybody could see, you know, how everyone went on that day. It was a big task, but it was good.
Have a look at this.
Before we left, we were a bit stressed. We weren't sure what we were going to get, and especially with Arlen, who was about 18 months, we were like, oh. And Jen and I had lots of fun in the car and saw all the beautiful sights and playground hopped with Arlen to keep him occupied, and it was great.
But every night when we pulled up, our first job before we did anything all was the maintenance on the bikes. Arlen would be straight out, march straight around to the trailer, get a handful of tools and come over and start tapping things and playing things, and his favourite tools are spanner.
We did have to resort to some electronic help here and there, but for the most part he was pretty darn good.